Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. Friday, people. Yes, it's Friday and I can smell the excitement in the air. Yes, it's here once again. Thursday gave way to Friday late last night, and now Friday is here. And we all know what's going on, don't we? Yes, Friday is going to change into Friday! But we all know that that's only going to happen later on, this evening, not this afternoon. So we'll just have to bide our time. We'll just have to be patient because we know that we can't make time move faster than it normally does. The only thing that we can do is to have fun. You all remember the phrase, don't you? Time flies when you're having fun. And no, this isn't a pun. This isn't a confusing joke connected to the idea of fly as a verb and fly as a noun. This is just a phrase which means that when you're having fun, that is, when you're enjoying yourself, you don't pay attention to the passing of time. And so when you finally do have a look at your watch, you're always surprised to see how much time has passed. It's almost as though time was moving faster than usual. It's as though time was flying past. So that's the idea here too. We all want to get from Friday to Friday, and we know that we can't just turn the hands on the clock. All that means is that the clock's broken.
Is that the time?
No, the clock's broken. The hands keep whizzing round really fast. It's only really 7:30.
So, if you were thinking of trying that trick to try and trick Friday into turning into Friday before it's ready, think again.
Punch it easy so it won't make too much noise.
All right, more vocabulary to check whilst we wait for Friday to sort itself out. Let's go! Now, there was some other vocab from the conversation we heard between me and Enid, but I don't think that there was anything major, or was there? Well, there was the idea of someone turning in their grave. Have you heard that one before? It's the idea that someone is doing something that their ancestors, their dead relatives, wouldn't approve of. The idea is that your dead relatives would not like what you're doing. They're watching what you're doing and they don't like it. They can't rest. They're dead. They're in a grave, but they can't rest. They're turning over all the time. They're angry at what you're doing. So when Enid used this phrase, she meant that her parents would be angry and upset to see their daughter eating and speaking at the same time. They taught her that this was wrong, and now they see her doing it, and that means that they're so angry, they're turning in their graves. They're so angry with what she's doing that they're moving about, even if they're dead. Blimey. Let's move on. What else was there? Ah, yes, of course. Enid mentioned the elephant in the room, didn't she? And what do you think this means? Any ideas? Well, I'll tell you. When people talk about the elephant in the room, they're talking about a major problem or controversial issue. And that reminds me, do you know the adjective controversial? Controversial is an adjective which we use to describe something which causes arguments. Controversy is another word which means public disagreement. Think about airports. They tend to be controversial. They tend to cause controversy. Lots of people like airports. They make it easy to travel. They make it easy for people to come to the country. Tourists can come and spend money. And if you've got a souvenir shop selling stupid things that only a tourist would think of buying, then you might think that airports should be much bigger and better so that more and more tourists can come to your shop and buy the stupid things in your shop. Okay, but there's another side to the argument too, isn't there? People who live near airports normally aren't happy about airport expansion, are they? Look at this picture, this map of Heathrow Airport. Heathrow Airport wants to expand. The yellow line shows the area which Heathrow wants to expand into. Okay, no problem. More jobs, more tourists, great. But not so great for the people who live in that area. They're going to have more noise for a start, aren't they? Maybe when these people bought their house hundreds of years ago, they didn't think that the airport was going to get bigger and bigger. Perhaps when their great-grandparents bought this house, they thought that airplanes were just a fad like hula hoops. And now, well, now they can't sell their house, can they? Well, they can sell it, but only to people who like airplanes. Well, either people who like airplanes or deaf people. Maybe they could sell their house to a deaf airplane spotter. But, well, that's a fairly small group of people, isn't it?
It affects at least about 4,000 homes because it will be intolerable to live next door to it, which is literally I'm going to be. And there's nothing we can do because you can't move, because no one's going to buy your property, which is why we've been blighted for so many years.
So back to where we started. Airports are controversial. They cause controversy. They make people argue. Some topics of conversation are just more controversial than others. I mean, when was the last time someone got into a fight in a pub arguing about which toilet paper is better? Toilet paper just isn't very controversial. Airports, on the other hand, are. Okay, so when we're talking about the elephant in the room, we're talking about the fact that there is an obvious controversial topic which we all know about. Everyone in the rooms knows that this topic is there, but nobody is willing to discuss it. We're all pretending that we can't see the elephant. You might have a family gathering at Christmas, and everyone in the room has learnt that Granny Smith, the oldest person in the family, has decided to leave all her money, all her millions and millions of dollars, yen and other currencies, not to the family, but to her dog. Yes, her dog is going to be rich when she dies. Now, everyone thinks that this is a ridiculous idea. Everyone in the family thinks that she's mad, but nobody is prepared to talk about it. We're all ignoring the elephant in the room. Think about the situation which might develop if your parents get divorced. Your dad left your mum for his young girlfriend, and then they got married. And now your dad's new wife is pregnant, and she's only a couple of years older than you. Now, this is obviously a horrible, strange situation that you find yourself in. But you don't talk about it to your dad when you meet him. This subject, the fact that your half-sibling is going to be much younger than you, the fact that your mum won't get any money from your dad's pension, but this new woman, she will, the fact that now your dad's money will be split between a woman you barely know and a child who has nothing to do with you, these are all part of the subject which is the elephant in the room. But even if you know it, and you know that he knows it too, you probably won't discuss it. It's the elephant in the room, something which is controversial and possibly a bit of an awkward, embarrassing subject. Okay, what else was there? Well, there wasn't anything else from Enid which we really need to have a look at, but there was something I did want to tell you about, something connected to something we looked at yesterday. Do you all remember the strict policeman and the normal policeman? Yes. Now, although I used the police as an example, we all know that we can find this type of person in all walks of life, can't we? Think about the people who work for the local council, checking that you've paid when you park your car. Think about what happens when you want to park your car in the city. You have to pay to park, and that means that you park your car and then you have a couple of options. If you want, you can send a text message with your car registration plate number to a central telephone number and pay for your parking this way. The problem with this method is that you have to pay extra to use the service. So some people think that this is a rip-off. Some people think that this is an example of someone taking unfair advantage of you. Never mind that for the moment. We'll deal with the idea of a rip-off later. So if you decide not to pay for your parking by SMS, then you have to find the machine and put some money into it. But not any sort of money. These machines normally only accept coins, and some of them don't accept the new 200 foreign coins. Then, sometimes the machine doesn't like the coins you put in and it spits them out again. So you have to try and put in a different coin, or maybe if you put in a coin into the machine slowly or quickly. There are lots of tactics. I often see people scratching the face of the coin. Apparently that helps sometimes. Anyway, where am I going with this? I'll tell you. As far as I know, the parking people, the traffic wardens, the companies which organise the parking, they say that you've got 5 minutes leeway, 5 minutes elbow room, 5 minutes to go from your car, buy a ticket and get back to your car to display the ticket to show that you've paid for the right to park it in the street. Okay. But what happens if you can't find the parking meter? What happens if you walk in the wrong direction and then realise you're going the wrong way, and then you have to go back the way you came, and now there's only a couple of minutes left? Oh, and for the love of all things holy, there are 3 people waiting to buy tickets, and one of them is a tourist who doesn't understand Hungarian, and now he's looking at the English language section. Oh God, and now he's looking for the right change, but he's only got euros. Oh God, give me strength. Now, think about what happens when you get back to your car and there's a traffic warden, one of those parking attendants standing by your car, ready to give you a ticket. You run up to them and apologise, you explain what happened, and you show them your ticket. And if this person is a normal member of society, if this person's wife or husband didn't leave them this morning, then this traffic warden, this parking attendant will tell you that they understand that life is sometimes difficult, and they'll smile and tell you that everything's okay. They let you put the ticket in the car, on the dashboard, and they don't fine you. They don't penalise you. They don't punish you. But what if the parking attendant, the traffic warden, is one of those strict traffic wardens? Yes, in that case, it's a different situation, isn't it? It's a different kettle of fish. This person isn't interested in your excuses. This person doesn't want to hear your explanations. This person follows the rule to the letter. It says 5 minutes leeway. You've had 5 minutes. There's no ticket in the car to show that you paid, so you're fair game. You can be fined, you can be punished, you can be penalized. And because they're strict, because they always do what the rule book tells them to, because they see the world in black and white, they do fine you. So the normal traffic wardens will turn a blind eye to the fact that you're a couple of minutes late. They'll look the other way. It's no skin off their nose. The strict ones, on the other hand, don't, won't, and possibly can't turn a blind eye to the facts. They won't, they don't, they can't look the other way. These are the ones who make life harder. And would you look at that? The time has flown past. Yes, the end of the lesson is coming up fast, and that means that it's time for us to start wrapping things up. So, have a great weekend, enjoy yourselves, and if you're parking your car, make sure you don't give the strict traffic warden a chance to punish you. Beat the warden. Make sure that you get your ticket in time. All right, you've still got enough time to finish your chores and maybe even walk the dog before Friday turns into Friday. And then just make sure that you're ready for the change. Make sure that you're prepared for the transformation. Get into the shower. Hot water, shampoo, rinse, conditioner, soap, lots of soap. Lather up the sweaty parts of your body. Wash behind your ears. Scrub the crease behind your knees, and then out of the shower. Dry yourself off, and then it'll be time for the magic ingredient. Antiperspirant. Prevent the smell. Defeat the bacteria. Make sure that you smell as fresh as a daisy, not only when you go out, but also when you come back at the end of the evening. I'll see you all after the weekend. Have a great time. Enjoy every minute of the weekend, and I'll see you next week. See you later. www.mediaclick.hu. Bye.